Welcome, believers, sacred rebels, powerful manifestors, and changemakers. I am called to share this message to you. May it make your day. May it gives you the sign and answers you seek to guide your way.
Hi Aries. I just thought I'd include some things on your reading. So as I was looking at the cards after I did your reading, this came up. So I feel like the person that you have in no contact with in a while are could be significant. Since there is a spiritual war going on right now, and you might have already seen some controversial videos going on in Palestine regarding the animals, specifically the lambs. This came up on top after I shuffled this. The person that you were connecting with, the dreamer who wants to create something new, who wants to bring about a new civilization in a society that is in peace. This came on top, and then I kid you not, I looked through the cards. So flood. If you're religious or not, it is giving me a very prophetic vibes or messages. So the person that you could be dealing with right now is probably making some or facing some prophetic times, or could be making some prophecy come true. So after that, we got this. So maybe I hope that they are not being sacrificed for the sake of someone else. And they currently are in isolation or exiled or separated from those they love. But they are a philanthropist, a caretaker, a savior or a hero that is being made as a sacrifice. And they are currently facing oppression from social engagements or religiously by some oppressors in their life or domestic. Maybe about their childhood, adulthood, or their current lifetime. But they're also an activist, a revolutionary who wants to bring in a new civilization in this world to make the world a better place, because they are defending for something. They are defending for something that they believe in, or there's someone in their life that are defending them. But through all this, God sees that, and it's also triggering a lot of supernatural disasters. So we have flood here and tornadoes. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I needed to share that with you. So if you have, if you know someone, or if this was a very specific message for certain Aries out there, if you are dealing with someone that you haven't talked to in a while, who you have sweet thoughts about, who you are reminiscing, but you're just watching from afar, maybe it's important to be there for someone. Okay. And I kid you not, this thing also came on at the bottom of the deck after reading your read. And here there's judgment. And it's almost like this couple are in shock, who are celebrating a wedding ceremony because it just occurred to them. They just realized something. It's like they realize something. They realize a calling that they have on their own life, about the world, about the completion of the world. It's very prophetic. It's very prophetic. I couldn't ignore it. If you guys have read the Bible, the Revelations, yeah, I'm I'm trying not to be so biblical about my readings, but I feel like if it does come on, then I feel like I have to say the message. It's like very messianic prophecy. We have natural disasters, and then we have the lamb here, and we have the lamb that was slain on social medias. Okay, sorry, I had to like say, but maybe if you guys have seen it already, it's very triggering, it's very disturbing. So I don't really want to talk about like how they did something very inappropriate to the lamb. If you guys want to search it, you guys can search the content for the lamb from Palestine. And how are things that are good that are being made evil, and evil that are being made good. So if you guys have been keeping up with the prophecy, I feel like it is happening right now. And so God is going to judge the world, because there has already been many sins that are occurring, and it's being multiplied by evilness and wickedness around us, and it's creating a lot of pain, suffering from people, and everyone is feeling that. Okay, And maybe this is also a pain in your long-term commitments, in their long-term commitments, or familial, or your dreams. Maybe it's creating pain in their family, pain in their long-term commitments, or their long-term dreams, for having to defend themselves, defending their beliefs, and they feel like they have to leave where they were. That's currently occurring in Palestine. So yeah, very messianic. So maybe that's a very specific reading if you are dealing with someone like that. I think be good to one another, okay? Pray for peace and believe for what is right, and stay close to God at all times. Okay? All right. That's all. So, I'd like to add, so this whole thing that is going on in the world, it's angering the gods. That's why there's worldwide flood everywhere that's happening, and it will continue, okay, for a few more months. So whatever they did to the lamb, it's angering the gods. Because this is also their answer to this world. Who is the dreamer who will give rise to a new civilization of the society? Who is an inventor? Who loves and cares for the animals? And they want to hurt the lamb. For that video that they showed from Palestine, they want to hurt the lamb. Or they want to raise opinions. They want to anger the world. Who is a philanthropist? Who is saint? Who is a savior and a hero? Who has big dreams, not for themselves, but for the world. For a better civilization. Maybe they have a strong voice. Maybe they defend for other people. Maybe they defend for people who are less fortunate, who has big dreams for the less fortunate, as I was saying. They want to create that revolution, an activist. But they're currently facing oppression. And as I was saying, it's angering the gods, because if this is the one that they have sent to make it all okay, if they're doing something to that, to the answer, to the world. It's angering the gods, and it's creating a lot of tornadoes. It's creating a lot of floods, and maybe also asteroids that will, if hopefully we don't anger the gods that much, okay? We don't want asteroids to come to our city anywhere or anywhere in the world, because she's probably, or the lamb is under some torture. So hopefully they're not facing any of that. And this is gonna cause more, this is gonna cause war, okay? Because energy is energy, okay? If we have evil energy around, so are angel energies. And so, like how they say, as above, so below. So if there are wars going on in the spiritual, it is somehow going to manifest here in this world. And God send this lamb, but somehow did something inappropriate to the lamb, okay? And then it angered the gods. And you know how God answers through anger is supernatural, right? Flood, tornadoes, tsunamis, all those supernatural calamities. Yeah, like as I was saying, right here, okay, war right here. All right. Okay, we have we have we have to somehow make them stop doing this, okay? Because it's gonna trigger war, and we don't want war, okay? A deserter of war. So the lamb is gonna request to not have any war to happen. All right, let's not make the war happen, okay? We Because they have been abused. Maybe they're fighting for anyone who has been abused. We have a knight right here, a defender. So maybe people are fighting for anyone that has been abused. They're also fighting for this. These are very sensitive topics. These are very sensitive topics. All right, like for me. Yeah, these are the topics I don't even want to brought into my reading, but I feel like if it's an important, okay, I feel like they're gonna be sacrificed for someone because of this, okay? And they are an achiever, and maybe their competitor wants to achieve what they want to achieve against them, and they are going to probably face an execution. But since this is reversed, so maybe it will be avoided by someone in position of authority who is going to do that because they want to achieve what they want to achieve against them. Is someone who is devoted to God. But there's true love. From all this that's happening, there is true love. Who's also faced who was a victim. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop it right here, okay? I think if you know this person, please be there for them. Please make them stop the torture, or from angering the gods, from sinning, from not being kind to one another, to be made sacrificed, because this is the person who's going to give rise to a new civilization for the future. Okay. A philanthropist. Please, let's not anger the gods. You know how gods get angry. The last time that God was angry to humanity, Noah, right? Back at Noah's time, like the flood, tornadoes. It was because God had seen so much sins that humanity are making, or humans are making, and God regretted the time that he made humans. But Noah saw favor in God's eyes, and made an exemption for Noah's family. But also Jesus made the same prophecy that when he comes back, it will be like the times of Noah, which is what we are facing right now. So we have to be really careful about our own actions and how that is contributing to the whole world around us. Because God sees it all. God feels it all. And I don't feel like God is I feel like God has a weight in his heart with how he sees things right now. Yeah. And it's angering them in the spiritual world. And how do they manifest their anger into the world? Flood, asteroids, tornadoes. The last time it erased civilizations from previously, Atlantis collapsed, their civilization collapsed because of corruption. Noah's time, because of all the sins, and they want to wipe out the sins from the Nephilims, from the beast, from any demonic energies, and God wanted to purify the world again. If this is what we are facing right now, if we are currently facing the messianic timeline, let's not do that, okay? Let's avoid what we can avoid, okay? We don't need to be seeing war. We don't need to be seeing this. The things that can't be spoken, or the sins that are too great to be spoken. We don't need to make war with one another. Okay? It's true love. Do you know how many times God sends an answer from above? And do you know how many times it's been taken for granted? Or was made sacrificed? Or mistreated? Look at the times of Jesus. God sent him from above, left his heavenly position, left his heavenly worth for us, for humanity. And if it's going to happen again, ask yourself, would it be worth it? Would you risk the whole civilization? Would you risk true love? Would you risk the whole civilization to have some war to happen? So let's please not make any of those bad things happen. We can avoid those things. Okay. That's all I'm gonna have. Okay, I think that's, if we can please not make the bad things any more worse than how we are seeing it right now. Let's be there for one another for good things. Okay. Let's remember why God made humans. Why God made humans? God made humans because God wanted a creation that could exchange his ideas back to him, but that could think for themselves, that can choose for themselves. God gave us free will for freedom so that they can choose for themselves, so they can think for themselves. Are we all doing that? Are we all exchanging our ideas? Are we all connecting with God in that intimate way? Are we still praising him? Do we still appreciate the world that he gave to us? For God loved the world. For God loved the world. Humans were made to be in charge, to oversee what's going on in the world, to take care of the animals, to look over one another. To care for the animals. But what are they doing right now? What are they doing right now? Hurting one another? Creating a painful ending for someone else? Until when? Until when? Until when? Until they sacrifice true love? Jesus was also a signification of true love. He had great love for everybody. He took in the sins of everybody else just so they can be free. Is that what's happening again? Listen to nature. And you are here, God. Do you all want to manifest this? No, we don't. You don't only live for yourself, okay? We have a whole civilization that the humanity have created for thousands of years. And we have younger generations that are counting on the adults that we have today. So the adults that we have today have to act right, have to act right for these younger generations that are counting on them. But you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like these toddlers are much more of a mature person than the adults that we see today that have corrupted their ways and their behaviors. We have to protect our civilization before we see it collapse. Alright? Our humanity becoming more of a problem to one another than being there for one another. Alright? You don't have to be a world leader to make a difference. Compassion and kindness goes a long way. Compassion and kindness can preserve all the damages that could have in our civilization today. Alright? That is all I have for you guys. Sorry this is like got very lengthy, but I feel like I had to share the message. Alright. I'll see you guys in my next reading.